Aloha, everybody. Bonjour, my fellow followers, my listeners. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 15. I know it's been some time since I talked to you guys, and last time I talked to you guys, I think it was July 30th. Um, a lot has happened since July 30th. I guess I'll just quickly go over everything. Um, UFC 277. Um, that was a good card. Israel Adesanya. No, actually no, not Israel Adesanya. It was Amanda Nunez. Um, Amanda Nunez regained her bantamweight 135-pound championship from Juliana Pena. Um, it was 5 rounds of a masterclass from Amanda Nunez. Although there were some times where I felt that Juliana Pena might have had some moments where she tried to submit Amanda Nunez during the fight, but um, Juliana Pena, she pretty much fought gritty for 5 rounds, but it was pretty much 5-0 across the board. And there was actually three different scores. Actually, I think there was a 50-45, which is a standard 5-0. But then there was also 50-44, so someone gave her 1-8 somewhere. And then there was a 50-43, so that means there was two 10-8 scores on the card for that judge. So yeah, chances are they're gonna probably run it back for a trilogy. They both won one time. I would actually would want to see that, see how well both can adapt to each other now that they've faced each other um, already twice already. So I look forward to that. And then um, let's see what else happened that card. I think there was let's see. I you know I want to say I might have to look it up. Um, because I want to say there was an Israel Adesanya, but I feel like that might have been July 2nd, so I don't want to mention that. Oh well. I would say it's 277. A lot of great fights. Um, oh, okay, I kind of remember some. So I think you had Ankalev going up against Anthony Smith. Ankalev um, pretty much dominated and won by TKO. Um, that was expected. Um, I feel like there was another title. I think there was another title fight actually. Um, let's see. No, no. But I'm pretty sure Valentina fought Thalia Santos on July 2nd. Um, trying to jog up my memory here. Um, okay. I remember now. Brendan Moreno finished Kai Kara France, and Brendan Moreno became the interim flyweight champion for the guys. At the moment, Figueiredo, I believe he's on the shelf, but I think he is recovered enough that he can actually start fighting healthy again. So, for the fourth time, Brendan Moreno will be facing Davidson Figueiredo. They both won one. They both well, tied once. So the fourth fight should pretty much end all things. End this four-part um, four-part rivalry. Um, I don't know what it's called for four-parter. Because you have a trilogy for three. So is it a quadology? Or a four-parter? I don't know. I have to look that up too. Um, so yeah. Um, let's see. So the Padres got Juan Soto. They also got Josh Bell, and they also got Josh Hader and Brandon Drury during the trade deadline, which means they gave up Hosmer, they gave up Luke Voigt, uh, Ruiz, um, Danielson, Lamet. I think there was Hostler. I think was part of the deal. Um, so yeah, Padres. They got swept by the Dodgers up in LA on August 4, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7. And Padres just beat the Giants 2 out of 3 in San Diego. Um, Lost the first game, I believe it was 1-0, and then that kind of pretty much capped off the whole. Padres have only scored in 2 of 36 innings played. Um, so that was pretty bad. That you only scored 2 at the 36 innings. So Padres then came back, won in dramatic fashion. They were up 4-1 against the Giants on Tuesday. Gave up 3 runs in the top of the ninth. And then Manny Machado hit the walk-off 3-run homer to win it 7-4 for the Padres on Tuesday. And then the Padres were down 3-0 on Wednesday. And then the Padres went ahead. I think they were had. I think it was 7-7. So the Giants caught up, which means another bullpen meltdown. But the Padres ended up responding and scoring another 6 runs, and the Padres beat the Giants 13-7 to finish off the series in San Diego between the two teams. So I guess Padres are doing a little better. The bats have awakened. Hopefully the pitching can hold up as long as they can, and maybe still kind of figure out what's going on with their bullpen, because we had problems with Taylor Rogers and he blew saves, and all of a sudden now we brought in Josh Hader and now he's blowing saves, and even though he had only blown 2 saves this whole season, traded for him, brought him in, and all of a sudden he's already giving up runs. So what can you do? Padres are playing the Nationals in Washington this weekend, so pick up some wins, solidify their spot in the wild card race. Honestly, I don't want the Padres to play the Dodgers in the first 2 rounds, but they might have to play in the second round. I think the Padres are trying to get the 4 seed, get some home games in the first round. But honestly, I just don't want the Padres to exit too early or miss the playoffs altogether. So Tatis should be back mid-August, so hopefully the Padres can get everything clicking on all cylinders, pitching, batting, fielding, closing out games. So crossing my fingers there. So SummerSlam. Great card. Brock Lesnar did lose to Roman Reigns in the last man standing match. He actually brought a tractor to the ring. He lifted the ring with his tractor. Roman Reigns fell out of the ring. But in typical Roman fashion against Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns had help from his 2 cousins, the Uso brothers. They helped pile on garbage, pieces of garbage, chairs, parts of announcers' tables that were broken. Um, but here's the thing, though, because this is the last man standing match, the referee is going to start the count of 10, and the wrestler is supposed to respond to the 10 count. If he doesn't, then the match is over. That means, uh, here's the thing, though. So Brock was down, and he did count it out from 1 to 10. But what kind of bothered me was that Roman Reigns and his cousins were piling on garbage on him while the count was going on, and the referee didn't stop the count at any point. So I actually thought that was supposed to be a flaw, that you're supposed to stop the count of 10 if there's some sort of interruption, like continuing to put damage and pile on garbage on somebody. And you're supposed to stop the count. But unfortunately, in this case, the referee kept counting up to count of 10. And I don't know, there was something. I mean, I get it that Brock Lesnar probably would have answered the 10 count if you didn't do any of that. But there was the only way you can do it, and it's kind of cheating. So, but in a way, Brock didn't answer the 10 count because he had stuff piled on him, and I mean, it is what it is, and I'm guessing they wanted Roman Reigns to still be champ anyway. Um, Both women's matches. Becky Lynch had a good match with Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. Good match. I believe it did go over 10 minutes. Great back and forth. Bianca won with the KOD. So Bianca Belair is gonna face let's see. Well, there's a new challenger, and they're supposed to name a number one contender, but you kind of have it kind of muddled, so I don't know if it's still being determined, because on the other side, you have, on the SmackDown women's side, you have Alexa Bliss, no, not Alexa, Liv Morgan. She actually survived the match with Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey lost because she had Liv Morgan in an armbar, but her shoulders were down, and Liv Morgan was able to pin her, but no one saw that Liv Morgan was actually tapping out before the count of 3. So Liv Morgan is still your SmackDown Women's Champion. And now she just got a new contender, Shayna Baszler, who's going to face Liv Morgan for her SmackDown Women's Championship at, I'm guessing, Clash at the Castle in London, England, September 3rd. Which also features Roman Reigns defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Drew McIntyre. And you still have Austin Theory kind of lurking around with his Money in the Bank briefcase to try to cash in on Roman Reigns or whoever the champion is at any time. Austin Theory actually tried to cash in during the last man standing match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, but Brock Lesnar stopped him from doing so. And afterwards, Roman Reigns hit Brock Lesnar with the championship titles, both of them actually, and got him down, and then started to pile on stuff on Brock Lesnar and had the Usos help him out. And so that helped him to make sure Brock Lesnar could not answer the 10 count. So, yeah. Anywho, Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic Mysterio, they did defeat the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They got a little help from Edge. And you also have Logan Paul. He did beat The Miz. He did do a big spot where Logan Paul was able to jump off the top of the corner of the ring, just a little past the turnbuckle, so it's actually a little higher. And he jumped onto the Miz, who was laid across the announcer's table, and Logan Paul did pretty well. He landed flush on the Miz. Great spot. The match was pretty decent, so I'd like to see more of the Logan Paul, see how he does with other superstars. Um, Pat McAfee, he kicked Happy Corbin in the nuts and got the pin um, on Happy Corbin. So kudos to Pat McAfee for winning the match at SummerSlam. Um, there was a run in between matches between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins, as much as they fought each other, but Seth Rollins got the upper hand and did the curb stomp on Riddle again. So, um, tag team championships were the undisputed tag team championships. The Usos defending against the Street Profits. Jeff Jarrett was your special guest referee. This was a lot of good spots, but the Usos was able to pull it out and retain those undisputed tag team championships. Let's see. Um, Bobby Lashley, he did defeat Austin Theory, so Austin Theory came up empty-handed at SummerSlam, did not cash in, nor did he win a championship. So he's gonna find his way to see how he's gonna, cash in on whoever the champ is for the undisputed Universal WWE Championship. Whether it's Drew or Roman or whoever the champion is, that's at the time that Austin Theory is going to cash in. So, let's see. I think that covers it for SummerSlam. Let's see. So that, yeah, I'm pretty sure you have the U.S. Championship. You got the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So that's like 3 of the major ones. And then you have the 2 women's titles, that's 5. Tag team with the Mysterios and Judgment Day, that's 6. The 7th one was Happy Corbin and Pat McAfee. Then 8, Logan Paul and The Miz. Okay. Yeah, there were 8 matches. Alright, so moving forward, I did go to a comedy show Thursday night at the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. Got to see Jen Liv. The producers were Kim Clevenger and Lisa Sunstead. Also got to see Trick, JT Wing. Got to see Courtney Haynes. Also got to see headliner Courtney Dold. There was a Summer Austin in there. Anastasia Washington, her mom was there too. So I would say, from what I can remember, and I was actually the photographer for the Pretty Funny Women at the Flappers. So, from what I remembered, Lisa Sunstead, her comedy was pretty much 7.5 out of 10. I actually liked her in her material. Clevenger, I think hers was like 7 out of 10. Um, Summer Austin, I felt that she rushed it too much in her stand ups. I thought that was 6 out of 10. Anastasia Washington, I think her comedy was like 7 out of 10. I recognized her mother in the crowd too. Uh, there was a Courtney Haynes. I remembered, I think her comedy was 8 out of 10. And then there was Jen Liv, who I haven't seen her perform yet before that point. But now that she's performed at the Flappers, I've seen her whole act, and wait, am I talking about Jen Liv? Yeah, Jen Liv. I thought Jen Liv's was pretty funny. I would give her 8.5 out of 10, and I would say the extra point 0.5 was because she brought her accordion, which she knows how to do. She learns how to play 16 instruments. That's pretty cool. And I got a picture of Jen Liv too. So, and then there was your headliner, Courtney Dold. I thought that she was a 7.5 out of 10. Trick JT Wing. I thought she was 8 out of 10. She was a funny. She's also a therapist too on the side. So, yeah, that's all I can remember from that comedy night. After the show, I actually did have some wings during the show. Um, but it's kind of cool being the only photographer to take pictures. So, but the next night, I ended up going to the Huntington Beach, went to see Legs at the beach, got to see Adam Hunter, who's the headliner. It was produced by Ahmed Comedy. There was an opener, Keanu Rojas, I think his name was. I think he was kind of funny. I thought his comedy was probably 6.5 out of 10 from what I've heard. There was Ahmed. I think he did some bits throughout the night since he's the producer. I thought his comedy was basically 7 out of 10. There was Blake Barty. I thought his comedy was alright. I would give him 7 out of 10. Then there was Anya Zoiva. I thought her comedy was pretty good. I gave her 8 out of 10. And then there was a Vince Royale. Pretty funny guy. I thought he was 8.5 out of 10 for his comedy. And then you got Adam Hunter, the UFC's comedian. He had a lot of funny bits. I think I liked one where he said that he met all these models in New York or LA, and he said to one of the models, "You're so beautiful," and the model responded, "Tell me something I haven't heard." And Adam then says, "I think you're smart," or "You're pretty smart." So that made me laugh a lot, and he had a lot of punchlines and one-liners. Just being very being a master at it, quick thinking. I like the show. So Adam Hunter, I gave him 8.5 out of 10. I also got a good shot of post sunset at the Huntington Beach. Beautiful, a lot of orange in the picture. So after the show, I did stop by Rakkan Ramen in Long Beach. I had the garnet miso soup ramen, uh, the garnet ramen miso soup. Pretty good stuff. I totally recommend it. It was like a 9 out of 10. I also ordered the Kani Kama sushi bites. Those were pretty good. It had been topped with crab and fried onions, so those were pretty good. And then I had the crispy chicken bowl with rice. So it was already like a ramen and a bowl of crispy chicken rice as my combo. So crispy chicken was pretty good. I would say like 8 out of 10. Um, ramen it was 9 out of 10. And then let's see. I went to Chargers training camp the next day. Oh boy. So on my way to training camp in Costa Mesa, well, I ran over someone's flat tire shred on the 405 South on my way over to training camp. And I drove and dragged this piece of cover for 10 miles. And it was actually my lower engine cover that came off during the run over of the flat tire shred. So I asked security if there was something below my car making a noise, and they told me to get out of the car so I could see it for myself. And then there you see it under my car. It was the lower engine cover that came off. So before I talk about training camp, I did go to an opened on Saturday car shop nearby, Honest One Care auto shop close by. I paid them $21 to rip off the rest of the lower engine cover, which eventually I will get a quote for in San Diego. I didn't want to drive 175 miles home with that cover dragging the entire way. I couldn't do that. So I'm glad I got it done. And I'm in the process of getting replaced. So, anywho, let's talk about training camp. Chargers training camp. They ran a lot of plays. Got to see Justin Herbert make some throws. There were some that he got deflected on, but he made some good passes, good plays. But to see that the Chargers defense was able to kind of hang with Justin Herbert, that's actually a good sign that they're building a defense. So I can't wait to see how this Chargers team will be. They got 3 preseason games before September 11th. And on September 11th, the Chargers play for real. They open at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a really good game. Should have been on prime time actually, but 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Can't do any better than that, really. Can't wait. Justin Herbert, Austin Ekeler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Joey Bosa. Let's get it going, guys. I did get to see close up Zion Johnson, who was the first round pick from Boston College for the Chargers. He's an offensive lineman who's going to help protect Justin Herbert. That's a good thing. I did get to see up close Asante Samuel Jr., but unfortunately my phone was starting to overheat, so I couldn't take any pictures while my phone was overheated. So, got to see him up close. Austin Ekeler did come by for pictures and autographs, but he did not run to my section of the railing, so he only went to the middle. But the great part about this is I actually got a picture with head coach Brandon Staley. I'm going to cherish this memory forever and the picture. So he seemed pretty nice, pretty cool. As I got my phone to work, I got to take a picture with him, and for some strange reason, I set a timer on my camera. So he realized that my thing went from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I was slightly embarrassed that it happened, but I got the picture anyway, so he was pretty cool. And then I got to stop by La Fonda in Inglewood. The food was pretty good. I got the carne asada fries. Um, they were pretty loaded, but I was okay with that. The food was, um, I thought the food was probably 7.5 out of 10. I also got the California burrito with carne al pastor. Uh, Changed it up a little, but I thought the burrito was probably, 7.5. So, um, so my last day in LA, I decided to go to um, Little Sister in El Segundo. Um, Got to try out the lemongrass beef rice vermicelli. That was pretty good. I would actually have that again. And then I also had the pork crab shrimp dumpling as an appetizer. So overall, the food was 9 out of 10. I actually liked it. Um, and then I also went to Yard House to meet up with some Dodger friends who wanted to gloat in front of my Padre face. And the Padres got swept by the Dodgers. Um, the series wasn't really close at all, really. But the Padres are still kind of get the chemistry together. Um, I got to try, let's see, I got to try their pizza with all the meats on it. It was pretty decent. Um, um, uh, let's see. What else did I have? Um, hmm, I had a pizza, and then um, I know I had something else. Um, um, I get to be very forgetful. Hmm. Did I have wings? I did not have wings. Sandwich. Eat. Oh well. I don't remember. But overall, I had a good time. And what might be a possibility here is that I actually might be auditioning for a game show. The casting director found my pictures at the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, and then the casting director, I think she's an Asian lady, and she actually had um, reached out to me to audition for the show, and the first prize for the game show would be $10,000. The game is called Tug of Words, so I feel like I might have to expand my vocabulary to compete here. I will have to see a follow up to see how this game show is actually being conducted. So overall, good food,